you've got a broken rib, you need to look after yourself, you should maybe take up karate lessons. Hello Ned, hello, my name is Lee, and I'm Ned, and today we have watched another movie. Yeah, high kicks, Belgian accents, Legionnaires. We watched Jean-Claude Van Damme in A.W.O.L. Now, A.W.O.L is known by other names. In the UK it's known as A.W.O.L, but in America, and in most countries actually, it's known as Lionheart. Because he's got the heart of a lion. And do you know, in Australia, it's called Wrong Date. Is it? Yeah. Alright. Well, let's get into it. So, A.W.O.L / Lionheart was a 1991 movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. It lasts 1 hour 50 minutes and it is great fun. Did you like it? Yeah. Cheesy. Well, I don't know if it's cheesy. Really cheesy. Okay, well, this movie was my introduction to Jean-Claude Van Damme way back in the day, back in 1991 when it first came out. Ah, fix your hair. And I was obsessed. I went out in my back garden and started practicing high kicks and doing all these spin kicks and things like that. And I was obsessed with Jean-Claude Van Damme for the next decade. Weird though? No, it's just, you know, absolutely loved it. And A.W.O.L, Lionheart has always had a special place in my heart because of that. Ah, okay. Cheesy though. Well, the movie opens up with some people doing some bad stuff. Yeah, they're doing a deal with illicit substances. Not nice things. No, someone's selling something illegal, someone's buying something illegal, but the person buying something illegal takes a sniff of it. Yeah, because it's like a white tider. And he says, wait, this is sugar. He's got an accent, you know, he's French. He does sound French. He says, this is sugar. And the other guy says, yeah. And he swears and says, this is gasoline. And he pours the gasoline over the other guy. And then sets him on fire, doesn't he? Yeah, it's horrific. What a start to a movie. We cut to the hospital where the burnt man is lying in his hospital bed and the doctors tell his wife and child he's not going to make it. Yeah. And then you hear him shouting, he's going, Leon! 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 Yeah, he is. Now we don't know who Leon is, but we're about to find out because we cut to Djibouti. Because we cut to Djibouti. Because we cut to Djibouti. Djibouti. Because we because we cut to Djibouti in Africa, where we see Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he's breaking rocks in the hot sun, isn't he? Yeah, he's in the French Foreign Legion, that basically a prisoner. And then these other Foreign Legion guys come up in a little jeep, and they give him a letter. And it's a letter from his sister-in-law saying that his brother is critically ill. Yeah, that was the guy in the hospital, the one that went, Leon! Leon! Yeah, we got it. And we find out the letter was sent 2 weeks ago, so he's upset. Van Damme. Yeah, Leon, yeah. Leon is very upset. He goes to see his commanding officer and he says, this letter was delivered 2 weeks ago. My brother could be dead by now. And the Foreign Legion commander says, your brother is not my problem, or yours anymore. You gave up your family when you joined the Legion. Yeah, and Leon says, I never gave up my family. So he's speaking back to the officer a little bit, and because of this, he is sentenced to the hot box, which is a little sort of bunker in the desert where if you put in there, you're going to feel the heat. You're going to sweat and sweat and sweat until you've got no more sweat to give. Yeah, so the two military police from the Foreign Legion, they go to take him to the hot dogs, and when they get there, as they tell Leon to get into the box, they punch him in the stomach, and he bends over and falls to the ground. Yeah, and then guess what? He takes up some sand and he throws it in the face of one of the guys. There are like 4 or 5 army legionnaire guys around him, and he starts beating them up. He sin kicks them, and he takes a knife in someone's hand, and he's just eating them all up. He beats them up and he makes his escape. He steals a jeep from earlier, doesn't he? Yeah, and he drives off into the desert, bursts through the fence surrounding the compound, and off into the African desert. It's cool. It's cool. After that, we see Leon at the docks, and he's just climbing aboard a little ship. While the 2 Foreign Legion military police are just passing by, they just miss him. Yeah, and then he's on the ship, and it goes to America, and he's shoveling coal, and he's reading the letter again and again from his sister-in-law, and he's thinking, right, I'll get to LA, and that'll be it. But what's actually going on is the ship master is playing him for a fool, isn't he? He's trying to, because Leon goes up to the top deck and he sees the Twin Towers. So he knows they're passing New York, which is basically the other side of America from LA. Yeah, it's quite far. Yeah, it is. And he says to the captain, you told me this ship was going to LA. And the captain says, well, tough. You're a stowaway. I'm just going to report you to the Foreign Legion if you don't just get on with your job. So, what does Leon do? He eats a nut. He kicks him in the stomach and he threatens to throw him overboard. But then he just jumps overboard and he swims to America. Yeah. Yeah, they seem to be a few miles out, to be honest. Yeah, I know he's Van Damme and he's Leon Gautier, that he is, he can't swim that. No, and you know the other thing, when he swims, he jumps off the ship and it's pitch black, it's night time, and then when we see him pulling himself out of the water into New York City, it's daytime. Yeah, so has he been swimming all night? Is he Captain America? Well, he's pretty fit. Yeah, but not that fit. Now, when he reaches America, the first thing Leon wants to do is call his sister-in-law to find out about his brother. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so he finds a public phone box and he tries to make a collect call. But even though it's a collect call, the operator still says, I need you to insert $2 or something like that. Yeah, and he says, but no, it's my sister-in-law. And the operator says, honey, I don't care if it's the mayor's sister-in-law. If I don't hear the $2, this call ends. So Leon just hangs up. But then, do you remember what he hears? Yeah, he hears the loudest crowd on earth. It's like Wembley Stadium or like a Madison Square Garden crowd. And he looks, and it's a dungeon title under like an overpass. Is that what you call it? I think so. It's like a little underground garage, maybe. Yeah, there's only about 20 people, so I don't know how they're making that much noise, but they are. Yeah, they are. And they're watching 2 guys fight. Yeah, and they've all placed bets. They're all cheering on the guy they've bet on, and they're going, come on, kick his ass. Right, okay. That fight ends pretty quickly, and the winning fighter refuses to fight again. So, Joshua, who is an older gentleman, and he is running the whole thing, isn't he? Yeah. He says, does anyone want to fight? Have we even got a next fight? Come on, somebody fight. Yeah, so Leon steps up. He obviously thinks, well, this is a way to make some money, so I can call my sister, or maybe even get to Los Angeles from here. He says, I'll fight. And then, obviously, someone else has to fight him, and it's a big giant guy he has to fight, isn't it? Yeah, and every single person there bets against Leon, except Joshua, because someone has to bet on him. Joshua says, it's all on you, good luck. And he surprises everyone because he does flying spin kicks and roundhouse kicks and big punches, and he beats this guy up, doesn't he? Yeah, easily. Yeah. So Joshua sees Leon as a prospective fighter. Yeah, and that night he takes him and says, I'm going to introduce you to the lady. And she'll help you make money, and they'll get you to Los Angeles and see your sister-in-law. So Leon thinks, well, it's the only option I have, so let's go. So they go to meet the lady. And the lady is this lady called Cynthia. Oh, she's a bad egg. She is a bad egg. Cynthia and her right-hand man, Russell the Nussel, yeah, that's not his name. But Russell and Cynthia, they seem to be very wealthy, and they're running these illegal fights all over the place. So they encourage Leon to fight, and they decide he needs a fighter's name. So Joshua comes up with Lion, based on Leon. He's telling everyone this is the Lion. Yeah, he goes, this now lady is the Lion. Yeah, but that's not good enough for Cynthia. Cynthia changes it from Lion to Lionheart. Oh yeah, that's why it's called that. Yeah. Wait, why is it called AWOL here? Well, it's called AWOL. Oh, is that his other nickname? No, that's not his nickname. AWOL means absent without leave. And that's what he does. He goes absent without leave from the French Foreign Legion. Oh, I get it. Right. I don't. Leon Lionheart now gets into a fight in front of a very, very sophisticated crowd. They're all wearing diamonds and they're all in their best tuxedos and all this. Yeah, it's a little bit nuts. They're a bit overdressed to watch two men fight in a garage. Yeah, I don't think I would get all dressed up for that. But they do. And Leon has to fight this guy called Sonny. Yeah, Sonny's red. Sonny says, you're pretty. I don't know whether I want to fight you or, well, you can guess the rest. Yeah. And he throws a big spin kick. Leon ducks under and punches him between the legs. And that's it. The fight's over. It lasted at 3 seconds. Bye, Sonny. And with that victory, Leon gets $5,000. Whoa! So, Cynthia and Russell give Joshua and Leon a lift in the back of the limousine, and they're discussing business, and Cynthia's saying, don't go to LA, I can have another fight lined up for you in the next couple of weeks. And Leon says, no, I just want to get to LA, that's all I want. And he says, stop the car. So they get out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, like in the ghetto. Yeah. Yeah. And Leon and Joshua go out. Joshua says to Cynthia, I'll talk to him, I'll speak to him. And they try to find a phone. Now, it must be about 1 o'clock in the morning or something. I think so. Yeah. So find a phone, and beside the public phone is a van. And inside the van are 6 big, muscly, tough guys. Yeah, like a gang. And they all come out and they say, if you want to use my phone, you've got to pay. And Leon says, how much? And Joshua says, oh, wait a minute, we're not paying you anything. I'll kick your ass. Now, Joshua is in his 50s, and he can hardly walk. Yeah, that he still wants to fight these guys. Yeah, so what actually happens is, Leon has to fight them, doesn't he? Yeah. Ah, Joshua. Yeah. And then after he's knocked out everyone, Joshua says, do you want to use the phone? And Leon says, no, let's forget it. Why? I don't know. He should have just used it. Oh well. So we cut to LA, Los Angeles. Yeah, and Leon's there, and Joshua's there. They've made it to LA, and they go to find Leon's brother. They go to the hospital and find out he's already gone. Yeah, he succumbed to his injuries. Yeah. So Leon goes to find his brother's widow, his sister-in-law, Elaine Gauthier. Yeah. And the little girl. Oh yeah, the little girl. Is it Nicole? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you recognise Nicole? The little girl? Yeah. No? Do you remember we watched The Last of Us, Season 1? Yeah. That was great. Yeah, yeah. Well, in The Last of Us, season 1, yeah. In The Last of Us, season 1, and I think it's the last episode, or the second last episode, we see how Ellie was born. Right, that's right. Yeah, and her mum is played by the same actress who was the voice of Ellie in the original game. Ah, oh yeah, yeah. Remember we spoke about that. Yeah. Well, she's also got a little part in Avengers. Avengers? Yeah. Have you seen any of the Marvel movies? Not yet. That's something we shall have to remedy. Well, listen, she's in that, just a little tiny part. But, right, what has this got to do with this movie? Well, that actress is the little girl. Really? Yep. She's the same little girl. She's all grown up now. And she has continued acting. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's cool. But anyway, we go and meet Elaine and Nicole, and Elaine is absolutely livid with Leon. She says he's the one that got his brother into narcotics, into illegal substances, and Leon says, no, that's not true, I just took the rap for it because I knew he wouldn't survive jail, so I took his place and went to French Foreign Legion. But Elaine says, just get out of here, and she kicks him out. So Leon goes back outside and he meets up with Joshua, and Joshua says, what do you want to do? Do you want to go dancing? Do you want to go and get some girls? Whatever that means. Yeah. And Leon says, I need something else. Yeah, and Joshua says you don't even have to say it, Nan. And he takes him to a tub. What is he in church? Well, luckily enough it was the pub. Leon wanted to go and get drunk. So they both get drunk. Yeah, you'd expect a fight here. You would actually. You'd expect a big bar fight. But no, not in this movie. But that's fine because there are lots of fights in this movie already. Yeah. So they get really drunk, Joshua and especially Leon. So Joshua arranges a lift for them and somewhere to stay for the night. Yeah, a nice big hotel. The tent house. Yeah. The next morning, Leon wakes up in a beautiful hotel. Massive bed, silk sheets, and he's naked. Yeah, he doesn't have any clothes on. And also, he hears something, like a mechanical noise, and he looks, and he sees Cynthia is in the room working out. Yeah, did she take his clothes off? I think she might have, yep. While he was asleep or drunk or passed out. Oh dear. Yeah. So she takes him and decides she's going to buy him all these new fancy clothes. Yeah. And she keeps trying to kiss him. Well, not quite, but she is flirting with him. Yeah, she wants a kiss. Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, the French Foreign Legion, those two military police from earlier, what are their names? Heckle and Jekyll. Heckle and Jekyll. Yeah, okay, let's call them Heckle and Jekyll. So Heckle and Jekyll are actually watching Nicole and Elaine to see if Leon will pop his head up. Yeah, then they're going to get him. Yeah, that's their plan. Leon decides that after seeing where his sister-in-law and niece are living, he needs to help them with money. So he goes to Cynthia and says, okay, fine, I'll fight again. Actually, he says, he goes to her bedroom door, well, her hotel room door, and says, okay, I'll do it. And she steps aside and says, finally, all seductive like. Yeah, but he means he'll fight. Yeah, so they set up a fight instantly. So the first fight Leon takes is against a Scottish guy. Yeah, okay, then what are you? You're Scottish. Oh yeah, right. Come on, Scottish guy. Right, okay. And he's wearing a kilt, and Joshua keeps saying, lift up his skirt, I want to see if he's wearing any drawers. Yeah, Joshua, just calm down. So the big fight, and it's in another parking garage, but this time, all the cars, parking garage, not garage. Ooh, a garage, right? Well, it's in a parking garage, and all the cars are circling the fighters, so it's all dark except for the lights from the headlights of the cars. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and Leon and the Scottish guy are throwing each other onto the cars and smashing each other through car windows and choking each other with car aerials and all this. And it's, yeah, I wouldn't take that car. No. That's a good point. But Leon wins and he gets the money. And with his first payment, he and Joshua come up with a scheme where Joshua, who Elaine doesn't know and has never met, goes to Elaine Gautier's door and says, here's some money. Your husband, before he passed away, actually had a secret life insurance policy. He didn't know. No. And he says, you'll get some money like this every month. Why not buy the little girl a bike? Yeah. It's quite a good plan. It's alright. Yeah, it's not bad. And then we cut to another fight. Van Damme, Leon, is fighting a big giant guy. Yeah, big hairy guy. Big beard. Big long hair. Big muscles. Little vest on. Yeah. He's fighting him in a squash court. Yeah, it's pretty good. And Leon kicks him through the glass to win the fight. It's so cool. I'll tell you what, the fighting in this movie is something else. It's so well done, so well choreographed, so well edited, and not edited like, I'm trying to think, what did we watch recently? I don't know. Well, whatever, we watched some things where the fights are really cool, but it's a case of, you see this punch and then the camera cuts to another angle, and you see a block and the camera cuts to another angle, and you see this attack and the camera cuts to another angle, and you see this, and you know, it's all these quick cuts. Whereas with Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, it's all as you see it. Pretty much everything you see in camera is him doing it. Oh, this Van Damme guy ain't so bad. No. Cheesy though. No, it's not cheesy. Then we see Leon fighting a guy in a pool. The pool is empty except for about a foot of water at one end. And the guy tries to drown him. Yeah, he does. And then Van Damme almost drowns the guy, but then drags him out of the water and just knocks him out. Yeah. Later, we see Leon out jogging, and while he's jogging, he bumps into his niece, Nicole. Yeah, and she's got a new bike. Yeah, and he says, that's a really nice bike. And then, guess what happens? Heckle and Jekyll show up. Yeah, and they say, come with us, don't force us to get rough in front of a little girl. And Leon says goodbye and runs off, doesn't he? Yeah, and they get chase, and it's a wee chase scene, but mostly a fight scene. Yeah, they end up in this little alleyway, and they're kicking his ass, but then he's kicking their ass, but then they're kicking his ass, and then Russell screeches up in the limousine and causes a distraction, and that helps Leon get away. It does, yeah. He gets away, but he's really hurt. So he goes to the hospital. The doctor says to him, you've got a broken rib, you need to look after yourself. You should maybe take up karate lessons. Leon decides to keep the broken ribs thing to himself. Joshua forces him to go to see Elaine and his niece, Nicole, and confess everything. Yeah, so Nicole's like, oh, he's a great guy. Nah, uncle, looking after him like this. Okay, and eventually Elaine is persuaded to let Leon help them, and she realises he's not such a bad guy. You don't have to keep looking. Oh, right. Cynthia and Russell are in a dark room watching a videotape of a fighter named Attila. Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big guy. And for the first few seconds of the fight, it looks like he's been beaten up. But then he quickly grabs the guy, doesn't he? Yeah, and he grabs him by the legs and just snaps his legs in half. Like he's a chicken bone. Yeah, like a wishbone or something. Yeah. And then the lights come up and we see that in the room are also Heckle and Jekyll. Yeah, Cynthia says, let me keep Leon for a little while. Let me make money, because I'm going to get this Attila to beat him up. And then you can have him. And Heckle and Jekyll say, yeah, can we watch the fight? And she says, yes. Now there's a lot of money involved in this fight, and Cynthia calls in some foreign investors, some business people she knows, and she hoodwinks them. She shows them the first few seconds of Attila's fight from that video. Yeah, where it looks like he's not doing too well. Because obviously she's planning to bet against Leon, but she's letting everyone think she's betting on Leon. She's evil. Well, she's definitely greedy and manipulative and not a very nice person. No. And now it's time for the final fight. Ha ha! Exciting! It is exciting. And Leon takes all his money and he bets it on himself. And then we see Joshua approaching the betting table and the guy's going, come on man, who are you going to bet on? And then it cuts away and Leon again hasn't told anyone about his ribs, but Joshua figures it out. Yeah, because they try to like warm up and Leon goes, oh, when Joshua gets near his ribs. Yeah. Meanwhile, Elaine and Nicole are packing bags and packing up all their things, all excited to be moving out of the slums, because Leon's promised them we're going to live somewhere lovely. Yeah. Big words. The fight begins. Attila and Leon go after each other. They take their time, feeling each other out, and it starts off with Leon throwing a few punches to Attila's face, and it doesn't look like Attila's got much. And then there's a bit of back and forth, kicking and punching, and Attila punches Leon's ribs, and he sees how Leon reacts. Yeah, and he goes, ha ha, and he points at them. Yeah, he points at the ribs and he says he's spotted a weakness. So he starts to exploit that weakness. He blocks a punch from Leon and starts punching away at the injured ribs. Yeah, it looks sore. And Leon falls to the ground and crawls over to Joshua, who is lying on the ground waiting for him. And he says, oh, this is a tough fight, but I've taken all my money. I'm going to take you and me and my family away from all this. And even Cynthia too, if she wants. And Joshua says... And Joshua sorts him out, doesn't he? Yeah, Joshua says, Cynthia doesn't care about you. Forget her. Anyway, they go back to fighting. Van Damme gets up, throws a few more kicks and punches, but Attila is really beating him up. And Leon is getting all cut and bruised and beaten up. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It is. And there's a big punch thrown and it knocks Leon back down to the ground. And he crawls over to Joshua and he says, listen Joshua, oh, I'll bet all my money. I have to win this fight. And Joshua says, listen mate, it's on him. The whole debt's on Attila. Yeah, Joshua's bet against them, just like Cynthia, just like most people. That Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lionheart, says, wrong debt. He does, he gets up and he is raging. He's furious. He gets up and the crowd slowly, the foreign investors who back Leon, start to clap like... And it gets faster and faster. And the music's picking up. Oh, the music's great. The music is great. It's like da 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 da. Okay, that's enough. But it is great. It's rousing. Oh, are you aroused? No, not arousing. Rousing, right? So yeah, Attila sees Lionheart is standing up again and he points to him and for some reason says you. He goes, you. I don't know why, I don't know who he expected, but Lionheart jumps up and gives the biggest of spinning kicks ever, doesn't he? Yeah, it's so cool, and it shows it like 3 times in a second. Yeah, the editing's pretty cool here. It's like paja, paja, paja. Goes on an all-out attack and he beats up Attila and just keeps beating him and beating him and beating him. And the crowd are behind him. The crowd are all clapping and cheering. Even half of Heckle and Jekyll clapped, don't they? Yeah, the thick one. Well, I don't know if he's thick, but, well, you know, right. But he's clapping for him, and it's an amazing fight. And then Attila is lying against the edge of the fight pit, let's call it, and Leon could just give him one big punch and either knock him out or do something worse. Yeah, decides to have mercy. Yeah, he does. He doesn't. He knows he's already beat him, so he leaves him lying and steps away, and he collapses into the arms of Joshua, who did it against him. Okay, he collapses into the arms of Joshua, and Joshua says, "You've got a big heart, Lionheart. Don't ever lose it." It's quite emotional when he's saying goodbye to Joshua. Yeah, and then Heckle and Jekyll taking him away. Yep. But they let him go and say goodbye to his family. So they go and see Elaine and Nicole, who are absolutely devastated by the news that Leon has to go back to the Foreign Legion. And he's all bloody and bruised and beaten up. Yeah, he said some night. Nicole and Elaine are really sad. They'll be okay financially. Yeah, and also I noticed Joshua just invites himself into the house as well. I guess he's planning to move in. I don't know. But they will be okay financially. But they're sad Leon has to go. So it's another emotional farewell. And Leon is in the car with Heckle and Jekyll. And they drive for about a mile. And then they stop the car. Yeah, and either Heckle or Jekyll says, "Get out." Yeah. And Leon can't believe it. He's looking around like, what? And he starts to get up to go out. And then the other member of Heckle and Jekyll, he puts his hand on Leon's shoulder and says, "Do you remember? Good luck." Yeah. And they go away. And I'm guessing they'll go back to Africa and say, "Well, we couldn't find him. We assume he is gone forever." Yeah. Pretty good guys. In the end, they're pretty good guys. Cut to the street where Nicole and Joshua and Elaine are in this nice new house, and Leon comes running up the hill into view. Yeah, apparently they can hear him running up the street because they all come running out the house like, "What's that?" And they're all crying and they're all emotional, and it's big hugs all around, and the music is playing. It's such good music. I really like the music as well. Yeah, and it's big hugs, and all's good with the world, and that's the end. That is the end. So, did you enjoy that movie? Yeah, AWOL, Lionheart, whatever it's called. Check it out. It's a brilliant 90s action movie. Much better than Best of the Best. Well, I like Best of the Best. As much as this? No, I like this better. But if you can hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video, that would be great. We really appreciate it. We spend ages making these. Okay, well listen, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.